Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Let's start. We're going to continue today with our terrible lesson. We're going to do some of the questions and then we'll probably watch the video at the end and perhaps do a small meditation at the end. So, welcome. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for showing up for yourselves. And thanks for wanting better things as well. So, let's take 2 minutes. I'm going to put a timer. And there's a little music going on in the background and stuff, but just think about your goal. Then I want to get into the exercises of the lesson today because I want to share with you how we're studying the lesson. And when you're studying with thinking into results, how you actually go through the questions. So we did some of it, so we're going to do the second half. So, but 2 minutes, let's just keep bring the goal to your mind, okay? Keep bringing the goal. If you want to write it down as well. So I'm just gonna calm yourself down. You can have a drink of water or tea or coffee, whatever you want. So 2 minutes. All right, so that's just about a minute. And if this is one of the first time you actually take quiet time, it might feel like a century. It might feel like you probably shattered a family record. So let's do another minute. It's going to tell you exactly when it starts, when it ends. Just you don't look at the time, okay? Don't look. Now, here we go. And that's a minute. So that's how long a minute is without looking at the clock. It's weird, I know. It seems long and it doesn't just go by quick as you think. I mean, even though you might have, of course, timed yourself many, 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 many times before, but just a minute like that, it just takes too long. Okay. To me, it feels long when you're in anticipation. Okay. And I just realized my iPad is not plugged in. Apologies. I was traveling yesterday to see a client. And we had to take the iPad. So we're going to plug in the iPad and we're going to continue with lesson 9. So if you have your book, you're some of my clients, just open up your notebook. We're going to be going through the workbook of not 9, no, terrible, sorry. Terrible. Lesson 7. Okay, where are we here? We're here. 7. Mhm. Yeah, perfection. There we go. So this is where we left off just the other day. And we were talking about we have a choice. Talking about we have a choice to be either on this side or we have a choice to be on this side. So let's look at how this thinking into let's think of the category. Okay, let's take a look. I want to be in want. I'm gonna go to the bottom here. We just went through the goal. You just wrote your goal down. You just thought about your goal, which is cool. I mean, I think about my goal all the time. You should as well. Okay. Look what it asks. Number one, review the goal that you established in lesson 1. Ask yourself, is this what I really want, or is that what I'm settling for? Okay, so I mean, lesson 1 is few lessons away, but we write the goal every day. So if you write it every day, it should still be the one. But you take a moment to reflect. Okay, ask yourself, is this what I really want, or is this what I'm settling for? And what's the difference? Well, because you could be settling if you're scared. You could be settling. I don't want to go for the $1 million. It's just too much. I don't think I'm going to do it. How we settle. I don't want to go for twice my income because that's settling. But the want is the. I'm not talking about your interim goal, what you're going to do this week. I'm talking about the big, big goal at the end. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So just have a quick review and you just say, okay, yay or nay. Is it? No, it's what I want. My goal is what I want. My goal is what I want. Number 2, if you know that you had all the talent, ability, and resources that you require to accomplish something beyond that which you are working on, what would that goal be? In the space provided, describe it in as much detail as possible. So basically, on your workbook, on sheet, you can just start writing. We will take, let's just take, I'm gonna get the timer out here. Let's just take 2 minutes. Okay, timer, stopwatch. 2 minutes to do this question. That's how fast it should be. Boom, starting now. One minute, go. Okay, so that's 2 minutes. Pretty much it. Go on to the next question. All right, let's see what we got. At this point, what you have just written would be categorized as a Y type idea. The fact that you want to do it and you can mentally see it definitely puts you in the Y category. Without getting emotionally involved, keep this idea strictly in your conscious intellectual mind and begin to describe what your life would be like if you actually accomplish this goal. Play the if game and list all the benefits that would accrue to you. If I did this, what would happen? If I did that, what would happen? List as many benefits that you can possibly can without getting emotionally involved. At this point, you are not deciding to do it, you are just thinking about it. You're not disturbing your old paradigm. So you could see what he's doing, right? He's getting you to be into the feeling because, if I go back to this picture here, you're just sitting here. The idea just stays here, nothing happens. When we start getting into the feeling of it, we're getting you very close. Uh, okay, once you get into that feeling, what you're gonna need to do to move into the action. So that's what this exercise is meant to do. All right, let's spend 1 minute in this box. Okay, that's a minute. Now, play a mental game with yourself. Just suppose you looked at all the benefits a person would receive from going ahead with a goal they described, and you were making a written report to them, advising them on how foolish they would be not to step out and move into action on the goal. What would you say to the person writing? See, playing a mental game. Just suppose you looked at all the benefits a person would receive. So let's do, 1 minute. I'm not going to do 2 minutes. We just do 1 minute. And I think Zoom is going to let me put a timer. Here we go. That's cool. So, all in the mind. You're just learning how to work with the mind. All right, that's a minute. For 5. Now consider this. Most people are reluctant to start that act on the feel what they lose. Clearly understand that when you get to the end of the road, you have you leave this planet, moving on to the next phase of your eternal journey. Everything you think you own is going to belong to someone else. The truth is you never own anything. You merely just have it to use while you're here. It's an interesting thing because for the first 50 years of our life, we're just collecting things. As you start thinking about it, we really don't collect anything. We don't own anything. We're just a custodian. Way to think. Also understand this. That everything you have is according to your level of consciousness. And if you lost it all through an error of judgment, you have it all back in a relatively short period of time. You might be thinking, is this real? Yeah, it's real. If you lose your car, something happened to your car, in a short amount of time, if you lose your car, In a short amount of time, what happens? You will end up with another car in a very, very short amount of time. Let me see. So we're gonna pause the music if it's loud. I'm sorry, didn't know that. Thanks for the feedback. That's good to know. That's very good to know. So you'll get the car back. That's just the way it works. Make a decision that you're going to bust right through that terror barrier, but it must be real. That this is referred to as the imagined reality. You must let yourself become emotionally involved with this big new goal and ready to move. The moment you do what you are instructing you to do, fear, doubt, and worry will speed straight into your mind. Isolate these fear, doubt, and worries. Now list them in the space provided below. So here we're going to have fear, doubt, and worry. So what we're talking about, as soon as you try to start taking the action, this is when you're going to start feeling this worry, doubt, and fear. Now there's an exercise that I do. With this that helps me, okay, to get through this because you're just imagining all this. So let's take a look. So what are you afraid? You can actually write it down. What's your doubt? You can do this. What's your worry? Like you can say, what's the worst that can happen? What are you afraid of? You can actually write them down, right? You list them. And then you can just laugh at them or you can see how ridiculous they are. So let's just do just 2 minutes, not too long. 2 minutes. Now we're talking about your big goal and you're going to get ideas to do work. So So the idea is just to give you a perspective, right? So you just list them down. All right. One eliminates fear through intelligent action. Go back and analyze each of your fears, and you will quickly realize that you have no foundation. You have created them in your own imagination. Therefore, you can eliminate them. Realize the worst that can happen is never very bad, yet the best that can happen is generally incredible. Now take each one of the fears that you have just listed and in the space below explain what you're going to do about them. Get busy and do it. Burst through the terror barrier and enjoy the freedom, which is and always have been your blueprint. So I'm going to give an example and then I'll give you 2 minutes. So for example, let's say one of the things that you wanted to do was to speak on stage, right? So you'll be telling yourself, "Oh, I doubt anybody's gonna listen to me. I'm not going to win. Nobody's gonna clap for me." They're gonna laugh at me and they're gonna, I'm gonna be embarrassed, right? So when this is what he's saying, well, and you gotta think, okay, is this real? Really? You going on stage, and you're really thinking that people that are in the crowd are gonna just laugh at you? You're just making things up. Because really it hasn't happened. And maybe if it happened, you were maybe just still a kid, or maybe you were still in high school, or maybe you did not do your best. But still, I aim to bet if everybody's honest in the crowd that was listening to you when the last time you were on stage, I bet you most of them were proud of you. Maybe that one guy who was a bully or one lady who was a bully was not, but the rest of them were like, wow, look at him, look at her. But in our mind, we come up with these things that, oh, what are they going to say about me? I'm not going to sound good. Oh, do I look good? Is my hair good enough? Am I wearing the right dress? You're just being selfish. So you have to stop yourself from all these ideas because most people are usually proud of you when you step out and do things because most of them are not going to do the things that you're doing. The same applies if you step out instead of being on stage. Let's say you open your business. You could be thinking, oh, they're going to laugh at me. Am I going to win? This and that. Most of them in their heart, they're proud that that's what you're doing because they don't know how to do it. They're too scared to do it. Remember, 95% of the people are stuck. But your mind is not telling you that. Your mind is stuck with your paradigm. Your mind is still part of this 95%. So this is the exercise that he's asking you to do here. All right, so this is the example that I gave you, but let's give you 2 minutes. Let's make sure the time we're doing good on time to pick one of the things and just work on it. Okay, so one of the things, 2 minutes, and I guess we could put some music back because now I'm not going to be talking. All right, there you go. See, time goes by quick when you're having fun. All right, so this is basically the individual worksheet. Now, the same, if you're working with a team, you can work on this with a team, but we're not going to do that here today. All right, so that's the idea of the terror barrier. So let's go back to the main sheet to tell you what we just did. Okay, here's what we just did. Most of the time, we are in here in this bondage. 95% of the people are here. And that's why they think X, they feel X, they get in that vibration, they get X results. You start coming up with a new idea. You start dreaming of a new house, new boat, new boyfriend, new girlfriend, new wife, new husband, whatever it is, the thing, new amount of money. right? Taking your annual, making it into a month, whatever it is, a day, whatever. You start thinking of some new idea that you've never thought of that you don't have right now. And that's why this goal, this why idea is a goal from lesson one that you don't have, and it's scary and it's exciting. The new idea. Now, this is not something somebody's going to give you. This is something you have to, I mean, you could always receive from somebody, but it's something you don't have. It's going to come to you somehow. Could be. So you start thinking about it. You start reasoning with it. You start thinking. Now, these are your common senses, what you see, hear, touch, taste, right? So as you're reasoning with it, you start looking around, like you start thinking, okay. Like nothing happened. Let's say you're looking at a new car, right? You start thinking of a new car, and then suddenly you start seeing these cars everywhere. You start seeing a Tesla, you start seeing they become everywhere. But nothing happens with you until you start realizing, oh, am I gonna go drive this? So then you might even go and you might actually get to the feel of this Tesla, the feel of this car, and you go and you actually test it. You go and see how it feels like to own one of these cars, to own one of these things, to actually go to the restaurant and feel that maybe that's what you want to open a restaurant. I don't know. What's it like to get into that feeling? Okay. Now nothing happens. We're still here. We're still just taking this why idea. We're thinking about it, we're reasoning with it, and it's now becoming in the subconscious mind. But really, nothing happens in terms of the terror until you try to take the action. Once you start to take the action, you will feel the nervousness. You will feel that, oh boy, am I really going to do this? So you have to go back and think of one or two or three situations that you've experienced this. And that's the feeling that you should become accustomed to as you want to go to much bigger goals. If you want to go faster on a highway, if you're in a racetrack, if you want to take a corner better, if you're a motorcycle rider, if you're playing tennis and you want to get better, if you're a golfer, whatever, you take a little more risk, a little more things to get some new result. You're not going to feel good about it at the beginning, but you have to take this action. And all the ideas that will come to your mind, all this conflict, a lot of them are bullshit. The thing of saying what people are going to say about you and are you going to lose? Are you going to win? No, you don't think of losing. But if you think of losing, you are going to lose. If you think of winning, you are going to win. So that's the lesson. It's pretty cool. We are going to watch the lesson today. It's about 20 minutes. So any questions on this before we move to the actually watching the lesson today? So we're going to watch it one more time. So, oh, I still have a page here with something on it. Okay, we can do it. Let me erase it this way. It's ready for next time. Okay, no questions. I like it. I truly believe this idea, I'll bring the slide, of understanding this very, very well and understanding when are you in this negative situation, you will become much better. Every time now I'm thinking about something that I want to do that I haven't done, I'm always remembering the stickman figure. I'm always remembering, okay, am I thinking about this idea in a negative way or in a positive way? Am I thinking about it? How am I feeling? If I'm not feeling well, most likely I've been thinking about it negative. If I'm feeling that I'm losing even, that I'm not winning, I'm like, oh, I've probably been thinking negative all the way. I just don't realize it. So I start catching myself. No, I want to be, so I should have done this in red. I want to be in positive. I want to be thinking all the time in the positive. So this idea of keep thinking of the stickman all the time, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it. Everything you do, when you see people, and it even goes to the point that when you're talking to people, are they talking to you from their heart, from their feeling mind, or are they from their intellectual mind? Are they being honest? Start getting into that feeling. And that's the idea, is to kind of keep magnifying this power, this life that you have, and keep on this side, keep on this side, keep on this side, keep on this side. And this is how you're going to jump from here to here. Never mind that today, including myself, I don't know how to make my annual income in a month yet. I want to. I'm working through it. I'm taking action, but I still, I still ask myself, it's not happening, but it's going to happen. So, but you cannot be in this mode, because if you stay in this mode, that's the worry, doubt, and fear. You got to say, okay, what can I do? What can I do today? Okay, today I'm going to do this. I think about it, I get into the feeling, and it gives me ideas. And then you take this action, and then you take this action, and you take this action, and you take this action, and then you see what happens. And then you go back, and again, you keep recycling it. It's very easy to go into the other side. Now, when you share this with somebody that is that's got anxiety or depression of some sort, they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about, man? It's my situation. My job sucks. That's why I feel like this. My life sucks because my mom has got all kind of issues, or my sister, or this and that." They don't think it's themselves. Nobody wants to accept responsibility. Nobody wants to accept responsibility. And if you remember the three lessons, right at the beginning, I'm gonna go to this page. Lesson one. I don't want to make sure we're gonna have to watch the video. Okay, so perfect. Right in lesson one, you learn how to make a decision. Decision on what? On a worthy goal. Lesson two, we're gonna teach you how to persist. Persistence article. So there's an article in each lesson, right? You gotta persist. Persistence. Because you can say you want something, but are you gonna continue the journey? By yourself, it's almost impossible, because by yourself, you are already where you are. You cannot get to that next level by yourself. You're already where you are. You need some new ideas, some new injection of thoughts, technologies, people being around. And number three, and lesson three, responsibility. If you go and read the articles, just the articles, never mind the whole lessons, just read the articles. Decision, resistance, responsibility. Nobody wants to take them. People will tell you my income is like this because that's what my company paid me. No, your company paid you that much because that's what you're worth. There's people just like every one of us in a company that are making millions of dollars. They're only paying us so much because that's what the value that we're providing. They're paying you that much, but somebody else is getting paid a whole lot more. So we have to make a decision. We have to persist, and we got to take responsibility. And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people just don't want to do that. They will say they want to, but they don't. So I want to finish with this, and then we're going to come back to this after this. The beautiful thing about life is that you can change. The sad thing about life is that people think they can't. And it's a choice. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. It's not my line, it's Henry Ford's line. The beautiful thing about life is that you can change. Did a post the other day, posted the tree. I don't know if I can bring it up. I said, "You're not a dead tree. You don't like it? Leave. Change. Act." The sad thing about life, people think they can't, and they stay where they are. They stay with the bad relationship. They stay with the bad house. They stay with the bad car. They stay with the bad job. They just don't want to change because they're afraid. Because the terror barrier is so darn strong. It's strong. I tell you, some people would puke before they go on stage. Some people are terrified when it comes down to paying some money. You will tell them, "Listen, man, you pay $1,000, and I'm going to teach you how to build your business. You're going to have a business plan that you can execute that would get you $10,000 a month." And they'll say, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, here's the invoice." Well, let me think about it. I mean, we were just thinking about it. You just said you want this idea. The moment you go to take the action is when the fear hits to the max. It just hits to the max, and you start getting anxious, you start getting sweaty. That's the terrible lesson. It's phenomenal. It might seem simple, and it is, but it's not because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. So welcome back, Regis. I don't know, the system kicked you out or you kicked out yourself. I'm not sure what happened. So welcome back. So we're gonna watch the lesson. And in a second here, I will be ending the stream because this lesson is truly for the clients who are paid clients. The rest of you, we love you. It's just as good. But to really listen to the lesson, you have to join, be on Zoom. So at this moment, I am going to end the live stream. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was beneficial to all of you out there in the internet world of YouTube University. And come and join us. So that's that.